come up with that dog shit pick. What the fuck were we thinking? What the fuck were you thinking?
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jimnasium podcast. As always, I am XFL Jim, joined by my lovely, illustrious, freshly groomed, with the drip co-host Chase, Lupine Fiasco Sesums. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. So I went and I got faded up, and I asked the person who faded me up to like kind of shape up my beard and everything. And this is the first time I've let someone like sculpt for me. And like I got to the car and I looked in the rearview mirror and I said, well, if I'm not just like a way shittier version of Travis Kelce, like look at this.
If you've gone a long time without letting someone do your hair, especially your beard, it's nice. It's a really nice feeling. When I did it, I literally did it like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
After the last time I had anybody do my hair, it was just shaving my head and beard completely. It's a nice feeling.
Right. So if it were the movie Twins, Travis Kelce would be Arnold Schwarzenegger and I would be Danny DeVito. Or if you want to apply the Michael Keaton multiplicity theory to it, if you make a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, I'm like the eighth, like kind of, slow learning version down the line.
You're like 1/8 Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but like not even like the good eighth either. I'm just like
you're an eighth.
Yeah, I'm just the one that like walks at weddings, That's it.
It's not a bad movie. You ever had the hot towel like lather up shaves and everything?
Yeah, I have.
The straight razor?
Yeah, I like it. The barber I go to usually like finishes the back of your neck with the straight razor, but yeah, I've had like the full like shave before and it's insane.
It's like a nice spa day.
Yeah, it's okay for us to take care of ourselves.
It very much is. Speaking of taking care of things, can we just start off this episode? Besides that, can we like fuck AT&T? It's been forever. I've missed you.
Yeah, dude. This is I felt hollow inside without you, buddy. Someone like cut like the fiber optic cable, I guess, or it got cut somehow in our neighborhood, and so like my sister lives on the same street, and so she was down. Like we were all down from like Monday, right when it was time to start working, all the way through like friggin' Thursday afternoon. And it took me like very much just losing my shit on the phone to get like a technician to look at it for them to even realize it was cut. Like otherwise they were just waiting for it to magically start working again.
How was it having no internet?
It sucked. It sucked real hard, Jim. If I'm going to be blunt with you, it's fucking awful. I watched a lot of daytime TV. I got like a good dose of Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb or whatever her last name is. I saw Jimmy Fallon way too goddamn much. Ran into a little gym called the Drew Barrymore Show.
She's crazy. She's
insane.
She's an insane person.
Yeah, like she's like Miss Lippy from Billy Madison with like way more privilege in a television show.
She can get it though. She can.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, come on. It's already been. Not like in like a biological.
We're not breaking new ground there.
No, we're just saying. She knows.
Yeah, just so she knows. So you're one of the lucky people nowadays who your cable and internet are at least separate.
Mm-hmm.
So when the company I work for that will remain nameless, they are also like a telecommunications company.
Yeah.
We had an outage go down for like an entire section of town because some dumbass left their dump truck up and cut our lines in half, basically.
Ugh.
Yeah, so we got an emergency call, had to do that overnight. If that happens, it's not just like it's internet, phone, and telephone. Internet, phone, and TV are all on the same thing.
Right.
They all go down. So you're living in the dark ages at that point.
Well, I mean, we cut the cord, so like cable, like that is 100% like streaming services. So like all I had was antenna, and it's like your antenna couldn't even like pick up like every local channel, like I had to go to different rooms to watch CBS and shit.
That's gross. That's gross. But because you didn't have internet and we couldn't do the show last week, we didn't get to do our update on the garages, the gymnasiums bracket.
Yeah.
Based on like everyone who's been tuning in, we fill out a bracket at the start of the tournament. Now we're going to see, based on the championship game of North Carolina, Kansas, how right/wrong, mostly wrong, sometimes right, were we in our brackets? Are you ready? Are you ready to go through this and kind of
listen, man? I've already heard all the Twitter haters saying how terrible we did, and you know what? To all those haters, I say, you're right. We did do terrible. It was awful.
So we're taking a look right here. We're going to start in the West.
Yep.
We got Gonzaga, Georgia State. We had the Gonzaga over that. Pretty easy call there.
Yep.
Boise State over Memphis. We actually had Boise State. We were wrong. We faded Memphis at the wrong time.
We went way too high on the Mountain Best.
We were really, really high on the Mountain West, and that turned out to be kind of unfounded.
That wasn't a good idea for us, yeah.
No, but either way, Gonzaga, Boise, Zags beat that. UConn, New Mexico State.
New Mexico State won.
Maybe the time we should have been behind the Mountain West.
Yeah.
We weren't.
The one Mountain West team that we didn't choose to go to the next round.
Arkansas, Vermont, we were heads on. We were very high on Arkansas, as you'll see throughout this bracket.
Mm-hmm. Bing bong.
Alabama versus it was Rutgers, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Notre Dame.
It was Notre Dame. It was Alabama, Notre Dame. I forget who was it.
Notre Dame won.
Notre
I believe.
Dame won that one. That wasn't it. Yeah. Texas Tech, Montana State, we called right.
Yep, for sure.
Michigan State, Davidson, we were kind of wrong on that one.
Yep. Yeah,
Izzo,
we got Izzo'd. We got Izzo'd. We got Izzo'd. Yeah. Which is not as cool as being Lizzo'd.
No, it was not. And then we had Duke versus Cal State Fullerton. Pretty easy on that one to get Duke. Duke, we're going to work our way back up. Duke, Davidson, easy call there on Duke. Just the storyline just worked out.
Yeah, they rolled through Michigan State.
Yeah, they did. Duke, Bama is what we had right here. Sorry, Texas Tech, Bama is what we ended up having here. Texas Tech versus Notre Dame is what happened.
And Texas Tech.
We were kind of right on Texas Tech there, so
yeah,
daps to us.
Yep.
Arkansas versus what ended up being New Mexico State. We had Arkansas winning that one. Daps to us. Good on us.
Bingo, bango. Yeah.
Zags versus the Boise State, which ended up being Memphis. That would be the time to fade Memphis, and I faded the hell out of Memphis.
Mm-hmm. It was a pretty close game for a while too.
It was. That was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was.
Then we had Gonzaga versus Arkansas, which you and I, to our credit, called 100% correct from jump. We had Arkansas winning it.
Yep. And I would like to point out that it was really just a fortunate thing how math worked out so that I was literally picking every time we landed on Arkansas.
Literally every time we picked Arkansas, it was Chase's turn. And I don't know how that happened, but it did.
You're welcome.
Texas Tech, Duke. I think I picked Texas Tech over Duke in this one, and that's just mainly because of in my brain, it's engraved that Texas Tech can just get super hot come tournament time.
Yeah.
Duke just turned it on though.
That Texas Tech team is really well built. They have really good defensive pressure. They're aggressive out there trapping. They're really long. It looks like when they're guarding people, like it's sort of like a Muay Thai fight because they just come in flying fucking elbows and shit. They're a good aggressive team. They got a good program.
I like them a lot too. And then we had Baylor. Oh, sorry, that's further down. That's the next one.
Yeah.
Then we had Arkansas versus Texas Tech, which ended up being Arkansas versus Duke. Yeah. We had Arkansas winning that one. Duke kind of ran away there.
Yeah. We cut it to 5 after the second half. They called a timeout and just got their shit together. And it was pretty obvious at that point that we had an incredible season, but we don't have the caliber of athletes all the way up and down the bench to do a super deep run into a tournament.
That left me thinking with what you guys did have. This is a pretty successful season, I would say.
Yeah, we have 3 McDonald's All-Americans coming next year. We have the number 2 recruiting class in the country. We're about to get fucking insane.
Pretty good. And then we had Arkansas here in the Final Four. Did not work out. Moving down to the East bracket, Baylor, Norfolk State. Easy pick there of Baylor.
Yeah. And this is where shit got real bad for us.
This is where it got real bad. We had the upset of Marquette beating UNC.
Yeah, the Shaka Smarts. Oof.
They ended up, UNC's actually the hottest team in the tournament.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's true.
Shits to us on that. St. Mary's versus Indiana it ended up being. Again, another Mountain West fail on our part. St. Mary's did get the dub, though, which we called Wyoming winning that one. Not great.
Yeah. This was not a good region.
This was a bad region because we also had Akron over UCLA.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
Texas, Virginia Tech.
I think hold on, who won that?
I want to say it was Virginia Tech.
I can't remember if this is one or one of the many
Texas.
I got wrong.
It was Texas.
Yeah.
It was
let's
Texas.
See. Okay.
It was Texas.
Yeah, it was Texas.
It was Texas.
Gross.
But Purdue over Yale.
Got that.
Got that. Little victories.
Look at that.
And Murray State over San Francisco.
Yahtzee.
Got it. Kentucky over St. Peter's.
We did not get that, but we had them going out in the next round to Murray State, which I think if they would have won, would have 100% happened.
I think it would have happened, speaking of which. So, Murray State, obviously against St. Peter's, did not win. St. Peter's, the very magical run that they had.
Yeah.
Good on them, by the way.
Yeah, I think we deserve some sort of partial credit for the bottom quadrant of that region, right?
I'll give us Murray State over San Francisco, and I'll give us
early exit for Kentucky. We had that.
We did have an early exit for Kentucky. Okay, I'll give us 1.5 credit points.
That's okay. Yeah. All I want is some recognition. I just want to feel appreciated sometimes.
So we had Virginia Tech Purdue. It was Texas Purdue. Purdue won that one. So
yes, and then
wrong
they
on that
lost
account.
Yeah.
Wrong on that account.
Yeah.
We had Akron versus Wyoming.
What the fuck were we thinking?
It was St. Mary's versus UCLA.
Yeah.
UCLA wins that one.
Yeah. It's just we can stop looking at that part, honestly. It's all dead.
Yeah, this is all just Baylor. No, because we had Baylor versus UNC, and then bam, whatever.
Yeah, we're all
So we were wrong the entire way. We had Virginia Tech in our Final Four here.
Yeah.
Pretty gross. We're gonna move over to the Midwest here.
Yeah, let's just burn the East down.
Kansas, Texas Southern versus Texas A&M CC.
Of course, we had Kansas.
Kansas easy there. San Diego State versus Creighton, the Michael Creightons. Didn't think Creighton went on a pretty decent run for what they ended up having at the end of the year. So
yeah, and
we got this one wrong.
We were mountain besting at the time.
Yes, we were. Iowa, Richmond.
Yeah, we got butt fucked there.
We got super fucked there, as you can kind of tell. Super fucked. Providence, South Dakota State. We got that one.
Yeah, good on us. That was
good
close.
On us on that one.
That was close.
That was very close.
Yeah.
LSU, Iowa State. We called right.
Bingo.
Bongo.
There's not a single scholarship basketball player left at LSU right now.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Insane. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Wisconsin, Colgate.
We wanted Colgate, and Colgate gave us a thrill. They gave us a thrill. Good game.
It was
a good game. Yeah, but no.
Nope. We had Colgate. Wisconsin ends up. USC, Miami. I didn't expect Miami to come in to this tournament as hot as they did. And to be fair, they kind of got an easy run through the tournament. But
yeah, I really like how Miami plays. They remind me of the 90s style Razorbacks of up and down 40 minutes of hell. Really fun.
We had USC, but I was still very impressed with Miami. And then we had, similar to the Kentucky situation, we had Auburn. We had Jacksonville State upsetting Auburn in the first round. It took the second round to do it.
Yeah. Partial credit on that one. Couldn't have happened to a better deserving. So we had USC winning. It was Miami winning there. Mm-hmm. If you kind of see here, we had USC going kind of far. It's all done. It's done. We don't need to talk about this one
done.
anymore. Yeah.
Done. Kansas, though. Kansas.
Hey!
Falling in the Sweet 16.
Yeah. In that battle of hawkishness.
Yep. Yep, and now in the South.
This wasn't bad.
This wasn't terrible. Arizona versus, I think they played Bryant.
Yeah, boom, 1 over
Boom.
16. Who had the guts to call that? We did.
Seton Hall, TCU.
Nailed it, TCU.
Nailed that one.
Yeah.
Houston, UAB. Boom. Nailed
Bingo,
it.
bango. Houston.
Illinois, Chattanooga. Bam.
Illinois.
Colorado State, Michigan.
We were mountain besting at the time.
We were mountain besting at the time. Tennessee, Longwood.
Very close game.
This was a very, very
close game, but we did not come out ahead. It just meant more.
It does just mean more. Ohio State, Loyola, Chicago.
Loyola Chicago won, right?
I don't think
Hold
so.
on. Yeah, I think they lost.
Double
which kind
check
of
that for us.
made me kind of feel good.
Why does that make you feel good?
I don't know. I feel like they've been darlings too long. It's time to move on. They're don't become another Gonzaga is basically all I can say.
True. The new darling is St. Peter's, but now it's not.
Right.
I think the only team that is in that category of was a darling and now is a power that I don't hate is Villanova.
Ohio State won that.
Yeah. I think the only team that's kind of in a sort of a darling situation from a few years ago that is now become a perennial powerhouse that I don't hate is Villanova. I just don't hate Villanova.
Well, Villanova's got a very deep, rich history that goes back to the Big East. They've been they might have had a lull at some point, but they're I would consider them a blue blood.
I would too, but I can't bring myself to hate them.
Yeah. I have this knack of picking the right team to win the national championship the year before. So I did that with Villanova one year, and that was really and they lost the first round the year before. Speaking
of which, we had them over Delaware here.
Yeah, bingo, bango.
And then we had Villanova over Loyola Chicago, which ended up being Ohio State. Bango there.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to beat Ohio State in that matchup. Fuck Ohio State.
We had Colorado State over Longwood.
That was just a dead end. That's just
this ended up being Michigan over Tennessee.
That one little part we kind of cul-de-saced.
This is a bad. This
no
is
through traffic.
We had Houston over Illinois.
Over Illinois. We love
Go
that
us.
Houston team. Yeah.
We were very high on Houston. And we had TCU upsetting Arizona.
I feel like that was your pick. I feel like that was your pick.
Again, similar to Texas Tech, I thought TCU was going to get just red hot.
That's fair. It's fair. They're a good team, and they did get hot to beat Seton Hall. Either way,
we had Houston over TCU. It ended up being Houston over Arizona,
which made it cooler.
It did make it very much cooler. We had Colorado State, Villanova.
Yeah.
We got the right team, though. We picked the right team. We picked Villanova to win that.
We did. And
we were so close. We were very high on Houston. Hence, we had Houston making the Final Four.
Man, we both were in possession of it was pretty sweet
I had
being
both
in possession.
These guys.
Yeah. We had Villanova, Houston, and Arkansas in futures at great odds. And it just,
It happens. So our Final Four, we had Arkansas, Houston, Virginia Tech, and Iowa. Not quite.
Nope. Not really.
Quite. And then we had Arkansas winning over Iowa for the national championship. I think the fact that you got to pick every Arkansas game may have led to this outcome just a little bit.
I saved our bacon a little bit. There wasn't really much bacon to save because we really fucked some things up in there. But you live, you learn. I mean, how long have we been operating as the same sentient being now? It's not even a year yet,
That's true. It hasn't even been a year. What part of the bracket do you think was our best one? It's got to be the West and the South were easily the two best ones.
Yeah, it's the West with Arkansas and the South with Houston.
I honestly think maybe the South, because throughout we picked more right in the South. We just had Arkansas going further.
Yeah, sure, that works. If we want to polish up this turd and call it a diamond, okay.
We'll go with that. What are your predictions for UNC Kansas?
I think Kansas is going to get up early, and I think they're going to Kansas it. And I think North Carolina is going to win.
I think North Carolina covers easily. I think, just like you said, Kansas is going to do what Kansas does and let teams hang around.
Yeah.
Dude, this Kansas team can just go on stretches where they just never miss.
Yeah. Yeah. But Bill Self can also really just like Bill Self some shit up too. You know, he'll have like, I don't know. He'll have like Megan the Stallion come and do like a locker room performance for him and get in trouble for that too. Like when he brought Snoop Dogg and the pole dancers.
So then you have North Carolina winning the national championship after beating Duke in Coach K's final season.
Yes. I just want to say, I think that there might be like a roving band of assholes in powder blue that are ruining all of like Coach K's remaining major life events. Like, I feel like if it after like just getting so thoroughly like fucking owned by North Carolina, like to just end his fucking career, which is awesome. Like, that's the great thing about basketball is like this team.
It's the great thing about rivalries.
Career.
It's a great thing about rivalries.
And yeah, like we got to see two of the fucking saddest, most awkward Curb Your Enthusiasm fucking curtain calls ever.
Like, I can't imagine how good it would feel. This season must feel right now as a North Carolina fan. Like, I know you hate them, but can you imagine an Auburn fan? Like, Nick Saban announces he's retiring at the end of this year,
right?
And Auburn wins the Iron Bowl. Which, not only that, but Auburn wins the Iron Bowl. They win the SEC, and then they knock Alabama out of the playoffs.
I don't even think Nick would shake hands. I think he would walk straight to the locker room. Like, I don't think I'm serious. I'm 100% serious.
I think so too. But how good would an Auburn fan feel?
Like a million fucking. Like, how did an Arkansas fan beating Gonzaga in the Sweet 16, man?
True, but that's not just a rivalry. Like, how do you think Michigan fans felt this year in the game?
Listen, when it just means more, they're all rivalries, Jim. It's the essence of them meaning more. You know,
I thought that only meant more when you're playing each other.
Yeah, okay.
It just means more all the time.
It always more. Just whatever you think it means is more, okay?
Speaking of more and college sports in general, I had a little question to kind of posit to both of us. Okay. What would your dream NIL deal be? Like, if you were going to college, you, Chase, were offered an NIL deal.
Yeah.
What would you want?
Okay, so you can't be involved with like tobacco, you can't be involved with gambling, you can't be involved with alcohol, right?
Correct.
Just as ground rules. I feel like you got to go food establishment. Like, especially if it's built in that you can just walk in and just be like, this is what I want. Here's my like this punch card's laminated, motherfucker. Boom, faux life.
Would you negotiate in your contract to like take a little bit less money in order to get free food from the establishment, just guaranteed for the entire time you're at college?
Yeah, I mean, with interest rates the way they are with the Fed and like the strength of the Japanese yen, like I think it's probably a better financial decision to get some of that in submarine sandwiches.
Yeah, I think you could. I think the value of a Jersey Mike's like unlimited membership. Firehouse? Are you more of a Firehouse?
I love Firehouse. It would be Firehouse or it would be Jimmy John's. But I will say, what I'm going to say is it's never going to be Jersey Mike's because that Peter Cancaro CEO guy has like creepy dead shark's eyes, like Jaws. They're just black, and then like when he bites into you, they roll back and see the white.
I would totally go Jimmy John's 1,000%.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a big Italian nightclub, no onions, twice a week.
I'm gonna take those onions. I'm gonna throw them on my number 7. Which I think is also a big Italian nightclub. Yeah, dude.
It's just the way to go. It's just the way to go.
I think my dream it has to be like it, not just a food establishment. I think I would really want like a local food establishment. Like, I want like I wonder, you could do a bar that sells food. I bet you can.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there'd have to be some weird split, especially with like how like liquor laws work with like actually being able to promote things that like they'd have to do some like kind of wiggling around, I think, to keep that legal. But too. Yeah,
I would do a sex shop.
Yeah, like it's okay. Like if you want to open an adult novelty store, name it. Yeah, that's what I'm into, and then contact me to be the face of it.
And
Yeah,
then you can just
that's
have a
what I'm
sign that just
into.
has this face with the quote. Yeah, that's what I'm into right there.
Yeah, like if I played like fullback or something, like I would take like a large adult novelty for mommies and daddies to use and put them in my football pants. You know, it'd be like an advertisement.
What NIL deals do you think like the bowlers are getting?
Like wrist braces,
Yeah, probably just like maybe some shoes, like some bowling shoes.
denim skirts for the ladies.
Little powder game.
Overly large bows for ponytails.
That would be like that those kids are really hurt by the non-alcohol rule. Because I bet like some booze company would love to just sponsor some bowlers.
Yeah, I just sounded like a very like non-evolved man there. Very sexist how I just came off. That's my
like
bad.
bowling, they still have to wear certain uniforms. Like I think that in a lot of places for like professional bowling leagues and whatnot, the girls still had to wear skirts.
And the men have to wear clothes that do not contain a single natural fiber. It's got to all be like weird, like rayon and
and then just pants,
plastic dockers.
I bet Nebraska women's bowling could get some legit NIL deals. I hope they have.
I think they could just get it, Jim.
Yes. Just
throwing that out there.
Speaking of things that can get it, you stumbled on something this morning, literally today.
Yes,
that just piqued both of our interests.
Kind of just changed our lives. I was scrolling through the channel. You want to set it up? Go ahead, set it up.
No. We'll talk. You were scrolling through the channel, so just like set it up for me because I feel like I've seen clips of these guys before online. Yeah. We'll get to the actual clip later.
Yeah.
And
so
I didn't know what it was, but you enlightened me.
Yeah. So I like I said, I have Sling. There's this channel on Sling called Stadium that I literally have never clicked on. It always has some just like kind of weird, random kind of sport thing. But they were, it said that the A7FL and then it had the name of two teams. And I was like, this has got to be some sort of like super low rent arena football league.
Or I'll click on because I think rugby also calls it like sevens.
Yeah, it's like rugby sevens. Yeah, and so I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, first I'd like to say, it's possible that just like this A7FL is just unable to sell advertising because they just had the slide for like the regular channel said we're at commercial break, and then it just played like weird like DVD loop menu music that would just like play all night if you like fell asleep when you were watching a DVD. Like until the show came back. Like if you can't get boner pills or ball raisers to like sell ads, like what are we doing here?
If they're on like a Sling exclusive sort of thing, I think Sling just remains free and they pay the company. The only thing I know Stadium for is I think like 3 or 4 years ago, they're the only place you could go to see like every other Hawaii game. You had to catch them on Stadium.
Right. It's weird. Some of these channels are just kind of bizarre, but God bless them because we found this. And Jim, why don't you just tell the people?
Okay, so Chase sent me this. First off, this is set it up here. This is an announcer, I believe, just getting ungodly levels of hype.
Hey man, like this guy is all I can say is extra. I mean, he is literally calling an A7FL game on Stadium where it just played like the DVD music from Big Fish over and over, or from that fucking Ewan McGregor Real Big Fish movie like from like 10 years ago. And here it comes, and it's all sorts of violent, and this dude is all sorts of into it. First of all, look at the physique of that quarterback. You got to run it again. I was talking.
This is so good.
God, that is enjoyment.
That's so good.
Yeah. Just
also
just
like
there, man.
Let me like peep that quarterback. He weighs about 300 some pounds easily.
I think that was Donovan McNabb, and Donovan McNabb hasn't been like taking care of himself.
Also, kind of peep the stands a little bit. There's not there are less people than should be here. Like if this is happening in my town or a town next to me, I am there, and I am very drunk.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if there aren't that many people in the crowd, it's probably why ball raisers and boner pills passed it over.
we need to spread the word on this. This needs to be big.
This is awesome.
This needs to be a huge thing. I will sponsor this. I will pay. I don't know. I'll pay like 50. Let's call
have
stadium.
we given the overall concept of what this is yet? Have we told the people exactly what they're saying?
Okay, so No, we haven't. American 7 Football League is a no pads, full contact 7-on-7 football league. There's one quarterback, 4 receivers, and 2 down linemen.
Yeah, it's like arena football, and like I don't think you can like rush the quarterback because you saw what the other quarterback looked like, and it reminded me of like when you were a kid and you had like 5 people and you were like, all right, I guess I'll be all-time quarterback, and then just like the other 2 people were automatically wide receivers, like, and you played quarterback for both teams. Like, did he like play for the other team too? He wasn't really like wearing a jersey or anything. He literally looked like he just fixed a fucking muffler and then took a snap.
He very well might have. He might have just been like some guy that was walking by and they're just like, hey, we need one more over here. We need one more.
They put the Midas touch on it and fucking slung a dime for like 40 yards.
I want to know who they're getting to sign up for this.
All I can imagine is extras from the longest yard. Like I don't fucking know.
This is like speed running CTE.
This is like the dudes that work in the warehouse at work and like a few other like, I don't know, bouncers from bars and shit, just like running into each other at full speed. Like the thing that you didn't get from that is like, I can only imagine that this just sounds like wet sacks of meat hitting each other over.
Speaking of which,
again.
I have this right here, which is the biggest hits from
I
the
cannot
A7
wait to see
FL no
this.
pads. Let's just take
I've
a
not
look at
seen
some of
this.
these. Look at that!
Oh,
These guys are getting annihilated with nothing. Like, generally you think that with no pads, they'd be taking it easier, but no.
You know, you think, man, when I was a kid, I didn't play with pads. Like, we all tackled each other. We didn't play 2-hand shit. And then, like, yeah, but you didn't move as fast as...
you weren't in football shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. That was Goldberg. I think that was actually Goldberg. Trucking people.
Getting annihilated.
But you know what I'm noticing here is, like, all of these
That's
actual
huge.
Like, form tackles. Look how good the form is on these tackles. Like, people are keeping their heads up, like, except that was bad.
You know what I'm noticing is they're doing this for like nobody. There's no one in the crowd.
Yeah, dude. But hey, their jerseys are like tie-dye.
God, I want to go to these. Where can we see this?
Dude, how do these games not end in gunfire every single time? Like, how do you not have to defend your manhood after fucking Nasty Nate cleans your clock with his forearms up like fucking Dick Night Train Lane? Like, my God, that is violent. I love it.
I want to know, how much do we have to pay the A7FL to get a Jimnasium sponsorship?
Fuck my ass. I think they'll do it for like a fucking box of envelopes and a 40, dude. Like,
if it's like a fucking 7-Eleven gift card and some beef jerky, I think we have to do it.
I don't know where these cities are, but I hope they're the grittiest goddamn cities. I hope they're like Youngstown, Ohio, Baltimore, Maryland.
It's got to be all one city, right?
I feel like it's like northeast seaboard. I think it's like people from New Jersey hitting people from like the DMV, from like just rail. I hope there's like an all-white team from Connecticut who just like they just like moved on from like high school football. I think they're ready for this grown man shit.
It's all about just like, it's just a bunch of like union guys.
Yeah,
just
dude.
A bunch of like linemen and electricians and contractors and mechanics just doing their thing.
They all hit like fucking longshoremen because they are.
I am as of now. Okay. They have a player safety area.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about COVID. So.
Yeah. I was hoping that when you said it was the player safety area, when you clicked on it, it was just like a old like first aid box and only had ibuprofen and Band-Aids.
No, I mean, they did mention, I did a little bit of research after you sent it to me. They do make all of their players sign waivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you watch the footage, you can kind of understand why.
Yeah. Did we? I know we got other things coming down the pipe. Did we go too far to mention the other hand-to-hand combat we saw last week?
I think we could talk about it.
You want to throw that out? You want?
I don't know if I have the footage for it.
Do we still have the super secret angles that we found from the Danish?
No, I don't have those anymore. Dang.
Okay, that's cool. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
know.
Okay,
I know.
it's all right. It's all right. I could probably send them to you. It would take forever, but we can just talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I posit this question to you: can slappers be criers?
Yes.
So the person who slapped can then like have an emotional cry on stage.
I think so. I think the person that slapped can sometimes, if it's like, they have to be specific, like anger tears.
He had time to like cool out. Like then he got an Academy Award, and then it was suddenly all too much for him. It wasn't after he like went like upside. Like it looked like a still frame from a fucking Ali fight.
It really did. Like just the specific angles. There's been so many takes on the slap, and I just want to pause it. My one and only take is that it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny.
Like it's just funny. It's two rich people just like one's just slapping the other. It does blow my mind. Like, could you imagine if you're just like at like a graduation ceremony or just some other kind of award show, and just some random guy in the front just walks up and slaps the host?
It's so fucking crazy, dude. Like, all right, here's my take on it. Man, fuck Jada Pinkett Smith. That's my take. She is the cause of all this, and she should be reprimanded too. Like, so we see the Zapruder film. So first of all, okay, so she has alopecia, but she's also like gone out to be like a public spokesperson for the alopecia. Like she's trying to be like open and like a influencer who has the alopecia, like, you know, because she does all that shit with like Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to be the public face of any sort of condition, when you have a joke that's made that's like remotely like close to it, which come on, a G.I. Jane joke, like if that's going to come out and that's going to cause that sort of reaction, then maybe you don't need to be the public face of things. So you see her, like, he tells the joke, she goes like slumps her head and like makes her really pissed off. Will Smith is fucking cracking up. Like, he thinks it's funny. And then she looks at him and he's like, fuck. Now I got to do something. Like, I have to be unabashedly like on your side. We both know that we're crazy because we've seen our Facebook streaming things, and we both know that we're loosely involved with Scientology.
That family is crazy.
That family's fucking insane. And then he just walks up and slaps. And I think he did it. He did it to like without thinking, to save his ass for his wife. And then when he got back to his seat, he did not know whether to laugh it off or go hard. And he, like, for the first time in his career, tried to go hard. And man,
I think it kind of worked out. It worked out in the moment. And then he gave, like, the fact that the best actor award was like right up next.
Dude, it's fucking crazy.
That whole sequence was just that night was just an amazing time to be on.
That's some idiocracy shit. Yeah, some of my best tweets. Like I'm gonna recite one of my favorites, which is like, how come the crying that Will Smith is doing on stage is endearing, and the crying that Chris Rock is doing by himself in a bathroom stall right now somehow shameful? What's the difference?
What blows my mind is, like, I guess these celebrities literally do just live in a completely different world, because in a normal award show, there's usually like security keeping people from just walking on stage. So
yeah. Also, I didn't have internet. Got to watch a lot of entertainment tonight and everything. And
I bet they're just talking about it every day.
Yes. I've seen this from every angle. That's how I was able to give you such a well thought out Jada Pinkett Smith take. But yeah, and I mean, they asked Chris Rock if he wanted to wanted him arrested, press charges, and to his credit, he's just like, no, just get this shit over with.
Just fucking stop it.
Yeah, I'm a man who's been slapped. Do you think, like, I'm already like having to relive this right now because of the internet? I don't want to have to relive this even more whenever I have to send Will Smith to the fucking pokey.
The cool thing for Chris Rock is he did a stand-up show the next week.
Yeah, and said, "How was your weekend?"
And basically was like, so the average price for those tickets I looked up went from like $50 average
like $400
to like $400 average to like the day of closing, it was like $1,000 average.
Dude, good for him.
Pretty fucking bananas.
Listen, dude, if someone is just going to like slap the masculinity, like the public masculinity off of you like that, like, yeah, you better pay me more for my fucking ticket.
I saw someone made like some of the memes were actually pretty good that came out of this. I saw someone do like a Reservoir Dogs style, like people walking in through the smoke, and it was the Grown Ups crew. It was like Adam Sandler, Kevin James.
Yeah, right. So, and like there was a time where two jockeys got into a fight. Like Irad Ortiz fought Paco Lopez. Like Irad Ortiz like threw a punch, and like some people taking up for like Will Smith and like the Smiths right now made me think of the people who took it for fucking Irad Ortiz, like him being all tough and shit. It's like you punch someone who is sitting down in a plastic, like a white plastic, like deck chair. Like, come on, man. When you just like roll up and slap someone, or you just like punch someone while they're sitting down, come on.
You know who will have some really good opinions on the slap?
Who?
I think a couple of guys who are yelling about sports.
Boy, are we.
I think that's the perfect thing to bring the sports world, the podcast world, the entertainment world all together. Yell about sports, yell about the slap. Everybody knows what time it is. It's been too long. It has been too long since we have done our sports yelling. Are you ready, Chase?
I look Orlovsky fresh, yeah.
Got you. Okay, timer going now. I think that Chris Rock had plenty of time to man up and block that slap. He is not a fighter. He's not trained. He's a small, tiny man.
I feel like I've had some time off to reflect, and I haven't been the true me, so I'm going to be the true me right now. And I'm going to tell you, slappers cannot be criers. You can't slap and then cry. If you're slapped, then you can cry. Otherwise, it's just truculent garbage.
There has to be a threshold of when you can't cry after you slap. But I think, first and foremost, I don't think Will Smith would have slapped anyone bigger than him. The fact that Chris Rock is a tiny, tiny man is the only reason that the slap even happened.
A man who knew how to wield a slap with authority was the GOAT, Michael Jordan. If you watch The Last Dance, 8 hours, him slapping, non-stop.
If you're going to take slapping into consideration, LeBron James, with his giant paws, is the GOAT slapper. He is the best slapper of all time. No question about it.
You can't tell me because he slapped a delirious Russell Westbrook together that he's the best slapper. You're a slap GOAT denier.
And that'll do it. Sports
good.
Yelling. Oh, that was nice.
It's cathartic. It was
That
cathartic.
was nice. That was
like
so good.
I feel like a phoenix from the ashes with that one.
My last little bit
Glasses on.
My last little bit on that though is like if that was Chiwetel Ejiofor, or if that was like any bigger guy, like if Michael Clark Duncan was still alive and giving that award and he made the joke, Will Smith isn't slapping Michael Clark Duncan.
No. And if you slap Michael Clark Duncan, you definitely don't get him to make like a full 90 at the waist like Chris Rock did. He folded that dude like a lawn chair.
Like you don't like he's not slapping like if Denzel's making the joke.
No, you do not lay a hand on Denzel. This is also a note I have for Will Smith. Okay, if you're gonna be slapping people, well, this actually gives me hope that there might be like a reconciliation with Chris Rock and Will Smith, because when you're slapping, front side love, backside discipline. You notice he came from a place of love.
Yeah, I mean they are friends.
Yeah.
I also like how he like loaded the slap like a gun.
Oh, dude, that's like a World Star video where like a bus driver knocks out a chick with like a uppercut he throws from his kneecaps.
And my last little bit on this, the last thing I'm gonna say, for like the comedians that think this is like a referendum and just like anybody's gonna walk up and slap you, no. A, you're not Chris Rock. B, other people aren't Will Smith.
Now I will say, if you say some just like real wild shit, like that deserves to get you hit, things can happen.
Like obviously, I'm not gonna say anyone should slap somebody, but you say something off color or crazy, you're probably going to get hit. I'm not saying that's a right or wrong thing. That's reality. That's just going to happen.
If you're going out on the comedy circuit and you're making an alopecia joke, the odds that someone with like patchy bald or wearing a beanie coming up and hitting you, low.
I think the last thing we could talk about actual sports wise is we actually have USFL Futures. The USFL is like less than 2 weeks away now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's so close. Easter weekend It's God, like I'm so excited just to see him out there on the fucking turf in Birmingham.
So
We've been talking about so much.
I'm so hyped. So we have the futures right here in the lead. We have the Michigan Panthers at 4-1 plus 400.
Mm-hmm.
We got the New Orleans Breakers and the Bandits tied at 5-1. The Stars Maulers at 6-1. The Generals at 7-1, and then the Gamblers and Stallions are both at plus 750.
That's a correction. They fixed that. They had the Breakers as the longest shot on the board, and we said
I think smart money's been coming in on them.
Yeah, so the Breakers moving up because they're a very underrated team. You also had, you had some big like injury news here that probably changed the board a little bit.
Even with the injury for their first round pick of the Generals getting knocked out like he did,
yeah,
that sucks. That does
suck.
Suck.
Such a nice guy. Such a nice guy.
It sucks. I hope he gets a good recovery, and I hope he's like ready for the XFL or Major League Football, which is still starting this year.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother. That's wild still,
dude. Oh, dude. Yeah. Listen. I don't know where these cities are, but me and you need to start a team in Joplin, Missouri, and call it the Joplin Honkies. Are you in?
Yes.
Okay.
I still love the Stars at 6-1, and with Louis Perez joining the Generals, I love the Generals at plus 700.
I believe he's a certain rodent king to you, isn't he?
He is the Rat King of New York. And New Jersey's basically New York, right? I offended a lot of people saying that, but whatever.
There you go. They just talk loud. That's not a problem. Yeah. So things are happening. I'm glad it's changing because I felt like it was pretty obvious that the first one that they put out was literally just by the draft order. They gave odds to it by the draft order, and they're like, we're gonna see where the money comes in, and we'll fix this later.
Well, there's that, and then like I think the supposed weakest coaches are still at the bottom. Like I think, Kevin Sumlin could be a good coach, and I don't think anybody's super high on Skip Holtz. That sucks for him. He seems super enthused. I like the energy, but the last time we saw both these guys, it wasn't a great stint at college. Larry Fedora, at least you kind of still have in the back of your mind.
He has the Mitch Trubisky feather in his cap. That's the only thing that's separating.
But also in my head, I think like his UNC teams were actually like they were decent. They were like better than I thought.
They were decent enough to be hyped.
Yeah. He just could never meet the hype. And then the other guys all like Mike Riley and Bart Andrews have just loads and loads of spring league and like football experience.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Maulers could be a sneaky good pick. I agree with Bart Andrews and the Stars. I think that's probably going to be the best, I think
that's my best value.
All around, prepared, ready to play team, quite honestly.
I think so. The fact that these are all pretty close together, though, I think shows that we're hopefully expecting a lot of parity. I don't think we're going to be expecting when the XFL came out. The Renegades were very heavy favorites. They were plus 175 favorites.
Yeah, I think the fact of the way they constructed their teams, and it's not like people went out and acquired free agents ahead of time. They did it all by position group and everything. You're going to have parity at every single position. Of course, whoever picked earlier might be better at quarterback, but you're probably going to be better at, edge rushers and stuff like that. So I think you'll have maybe a 500 team that makes the playoffs or something,
I'm excited. I'm so excited for the season. It can't get here soon enough. Literally less than 2 weeks away.
You know what makes me a sad panda is literally just got online sports books in Arkansas and literally cannot put a nickel on the USFL.
Gonna have to go back to offshores for that.
Just forcing me to the Caymans.
That's the thing though, as well as convenient as onshore books are, as legal sports, quote unquote legal sports books are, sometimes they just don't offer the best lines or the best, you can't bet on everything with them. I can't bet politics on legal sports books. I have to go offshore for that.
Yeah, but I nailed Biden in Texas in the primaries.
Dude, I made so much money live betting Biden.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
God.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
That was funny.
That's the good stuff.
Speaking of the good stuff, I think that rolls us in perfectly to our next segment.
Ooh.
Our favorite segment right now, grading. Yep. We're just grading whatever. To let everyone know, about mid-May is when we're gonna start previewing college football and NFL games. Just so everyone's aware, It's going to be about mid-May. Then you can get back to your sweet, sweet goodness. And I'm very excited to go through every single college football and NFL game
I've
every week.
Absolutely miss doing this. Like, I love that it's such an endeavor that we have to start doing it in May to be able to do it a week at a time and still be done before week 0.
Yeah, we'll be done the week before week 0.
Week -1, man. Yeah.
Yep, it's going to be awesome. So this week we are grading in honor of the NCAA tournament coming to an end and one shining moment being like one of the best things about sports
Ever.
We're going to grade moments. So I have about 30 moments that we kind of like jumbled together. Chase put a couple of these in through Twitter, through DMs. And I don't know how many you've seen. I don't know. I've
tried not to look. I'm okay. Gonna not look. Okay.
So we're going to go through these moments. Some of these might be hyper specific. I may have been drunk and or high while writing this list. So we'll see how this goes.
I was definitely the latter when I gave you super specific ones. Yeah.
These are by no means in any like direct order. We're just grading these each out. So number 1, a shower after work.
That's good.
I feel like whether you're working in an office or whether you're working a manual labor job does affect it a little bit. Yeah. Like when I come home from work and I'm dirty and sweaty, it's so nice to have a shower.
Listen, manual laborers are like tough. That's tough for the working an office job. But what I will say for people who worked in offices, they will let just fucking anybody work in a fucking office. Like you have to have a skill set to be manual labor. They'll let any crazy fuck be in an office. And going home and showering that crazy off of you, like shower beer and until the hot water runs out. Hell yeah.
It's so nice. I'm giving this an A. Most of these are probably going to be really good, just so everyone knows. Yeah. A cup of water left out after a night of drinking. Like you wake up super hungover and you have this big old cup of water just there that drunk you left for you.
I'm going to give it a D. I'm probably actually going to get up and get like one with like ice instead of just like room temperature ass water.
I'm going to give it a B because you're hungover in the moment and that always sucks.
True.
Maybe I might give it a C+ because you're hungover in the moment. And at that point, it's either like kind of cool water if your apartment or house is pretty cool, or it's like room temperature water, which is
I mean, imagine like being the summer, like getting fucked up on like 4th of July and then waking up to like at 80 degree cup of water.
Yeah. You didn't put this one in, but I put this one in lieu of you. When you start to feel the high, like when you're smoking weed, as soon as the high like actually starts to hit you, like for me, it's when I start to like. When my mouth starts to get a little dry, I start to like wave my hands a little bit.
Yeah. Or like when we were doing like the hot tub cast and I was just like fucking with the water, with the surface. Yeah.
It's like once you start to notice it.
So I will say different variations have different results and I've had different experiences with this and it's a mixed bag and I would give them all different grades, but today A+. It's great today.
I think in general for me it's a B because I'm just like I'll get real quiet. I'll just get back and I'll be like, whoa, I am feeling it right now.
Sometimes if I'm a little too in my feelings, that might get my like anxiety up. But just like I will say it hasn't happened enough for me to maybe just think that I should stay away from the jazz lettuce.
This one was super hyper specific for me because this happened this morning. You get the perfect bite of like breakfast ham. It says breakfast ham, but I'll just say the perfect bite of say a breakfast meal. Say you have like a bite of egg, bacon, and like grits all together.
We get everything together in the bite.
Just everything. Because I literally had a bite where it was a runny egg, a piece of toast, ham, gravy, and grits, and it was perfect. It was amazing.
Like I don't know. I'm going to be super specific here because I feel like this point might as well. Like actual like thick cut breakfast ham slice, like getting that like one good thick, almost sort of rubbery feeling bite into it, and then you could tell like it's got a little bit of like a little bit of a sear on it. That's fucking top notch.
It's so good.
God, I love breakfast meats.
I do too. A+ for me for that one. 5 to 10 minutes after your favorite sports team wins a big game.
After Gonzaga, it went like 72 hours for me. So
for me, it's like, so I'll kind of like reality sets in about an hour afterwards. That first 5 to 10 minutes is usually a blackout blur, but everything I remember of it is that's the best feeling I've had in my life.
And you're the world beaters, and you can beat anybody else who comes along. And it's such a great feeling. Like, it's the sweet opiate of the masses, man. Like, just if you're not excited about something in your everyday life, get excited about a sport and let it just make you fucking like hype about something.
I want it so bad. I was teased so much last college football season. I want it so bad. I want it so bad.
You had some really, you deserve it. Like, you deserve sainthood because you've just been brutalized.
I want it so bad. I want it more than anything. This one's also specific. This is also trying to pump myself up. This is like the feeling you have after I have a really good bench press, but it's after any really good workout. The feeling you have, like if you have a really good, like you break your personal record in a squat, you do have like a really nice hang clean. But for me, bench press is the ultimate ego lift. And it's just, you do a really good bench, you just feel good.
Yeah, I'm gonna relate this to something more of like what I'm used to, because I don't bench anything. When I use a penis pump on a bus bench, like along a bus route, like I couldn't feel any freer. Like, I understand
if you're covert with it too,
or
overt.
Yeah, if you want, if you want to be. I mean, dealer's choice at that point, really. It's yeah, I mean, endorphins are rushing. I think you get the same thing. Both cause veins to pop.
That's true. Number 7. When your horse wins, when it actually wins.
When especially when it's a long shot and you feel like the smartest person because you're betting against not the house, everyone else, and you're taking their money is the fucking best.
It's gotta be. That's like almost a poker element.
Yeah. I feel like how do you grade the ungradable here? Like, it's just.
I mean, it's got to be A+. Like,
well, I mean,
yeah.
I don't think humankind has found a letter to really express how good it is. They haven't come up with anything better than A yet.
No, because if we're going by that, we have to go by like the Japanese video game grading system where it's an S+ at that point.
Okay, yeah,
something above an A. It's an S+.
Yeah, for super.
Here's just an average, like your wedding day. I don't know. Haven't experienced it. I gotta feel like it's pretty good though.
I think it depends on how hands-on you are with the planning of everything and also the execution of things.
It's gotta. I mean, it definitely has to depend on how it actually goes.
Yeah. Oh no, sure. It can be great, but you're also having to figure out where the DJ is. Tell them to start serving beer now. And like everyone's coming and asking you questions, and then also you have so many people there who are just cycling through and saying, "Oh, hey, glad go." So they make sure that you like saw them there. That like. You hardly find time to eat, that
does suck. Like if you don't have like a wedding planner or someone doing that stuff for you.
Yeah, but like
it does become overwhelming.
Yeah, like at the church, or wherever you choose, like that they have a formula. They can rip through that shit. But like when you're at like some just like fucking like country club or something, for the reception, it gets crazy. They thought they misplaced our kegs, and they're like, oh. That's concerning. I was like, yeah, because either someone stole them or there's a large alcoholic giant roaming the fucking countryside.
I went to one that did a really cool thing. That instead of kegs, they just had cattle troughs full of booze, full of like beer cans.
Yeah, I like it. We did that. We had 2 kegs, Shiner, Miller Lite, and then we did signature cocktails, which were Kentucky Mules.
Nice. I like that. Number 9, when you finally put the piece of IKEA furniture together. Like when it's actually done.
I rebuke IKEA.
I love IKEA. And I feel like an actual like handyman and builder and craftsman when I actually put together IKEA furniture. And then you actually have to do something and you're like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, the way that they design their stores where like you have to walk through it a certain way, fuck that.
No, I love it. I love going through IKEA. Love it.
No, that's some weird Scandinavian bordering on fascism shit.
It's fucking awesome. Number 10, quitting your job. Not getting fired, quitting your job is a great
I'm usually the one who's asked to leave, Jim, if we're being honest. But yeah, when you do, and like especially like when you're just like fuck it, I quit, great feeling, followed by instant regret. When you do it right and do like the 2 weeks and like you've planned like vacation before your next job. That's the shit right there.
I only had one job that this applied to, where it was like legit.
Yeah.
Where
You're also often asked to leave.
I walked up to our manager because it was a seasonal job that you could work the rest of the year if like needed. So he was like, "Hey, so what are you guys thinking about working for the rest of the year?" And I'm like, we're thinking we're probably just going to focus on school and not doing it. He's like, "That's probably for the best." I was thinking the same thing. So it was a mutual firing, quitting.
Right.
And it worked out pretty well because we hated the job. Me and my buddy hated the job. And the guy didn't like us either.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's it's a good feeling when it's one where that's just absolute bullshit. Like, I remember I needed a job and they're like, I was called and they're like, "You're hired. Come to the orientation." It was to sell the Rainbow vacuum cleaner.
Oh,
I quit that shit at the lunch break. I was like, I am out. Fuck this.
Number 11, second day of a vacation. I say the second day because the first day you're spent like traveling, getting everything there, and just like you don't really get to experience the vacation.
Yeah, like you've probably gotten to stay up late for the first night, and so you actually get to like sleep in because you're always up early the first day of vacation. That's a good call. I like how you specified there. You're sneaky, but I like it.
In a similar vein, number 12 is getting back from a vacation that's been a little bit too long and getting into your own bed. So like say you want to go to Vegas. I think the longest I want to be in Vegas is a week because I'm going to die. I will die afterwards. But say you got stuck in Vegas, you're there for 9 days or 10 days.
Yeah.
That feeling when you get back to your own bed in your own home, oh, it's so nice.
I mean, all right, we've shared a hotel room. You've seen like what I have to do with like the arrangement of pillows to get comfy in like a hotel bed. So you best believe what I have constructed is like a gilded palace of fucking goose down and linens. Like it perfectly cradles me. I could live anywhere if you just had like a little U-Haul that followed me around and had my fucking bed in it.
When you make it big.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving this one just an A. Like
okay.
A regular A. It's so nice though.
Yeah.
Sleeping after a bender, and by bender I just mean staying up for a long time. Like you stay up for weird hours. You'll stay up
way too long. Yeah.
Way too long every once in a while. Longest I've done is like 50 hours, and just like falling asleep afterwards. And I slept for 13 hours straight.
Yeah.
It was the best sleep I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that like you're still tired when you wake up from it, and you're up for like an hour or two, and then you're just out again. It's good. You gotta have it, man. You gotta have it. Like I probably should get like how I cycle through things figured out, but like just that good restorative sleep. Fuck yes.
It's great. I'm gonna give that a B+.
Yeah, I'm with it.
A hot tub on a nice cool day. So when it's in like the 50s to 40s, not too windy, nice outdoor hot tub.
Yeah.
You got a nice cold beer in your hand too.
Yeah. Maybe a year with El Nino, you know?
A little bit of that. Maybe maybe some Schweed, maybe a cigarette. Oh, it's such a good feeling.
Yeah. A rum. Rum always helps if it's not like warm enough. Like you can always rum it up. Yeah, it's nice. I rarely get to experience that because I don't know a lot of people with hot tubs, and it's not always like chilly here. So
I'm gonna give it a B just because generally it's always a little too warm, or it's sometimes too cold where you get your head out and your hair freezes over.
That reminds me of going duck hunting and getting like the actual icicles forming in my mustache.
All the time to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say it's a good thing because if you mix a little something from one end and a little something from the other end, always works out.
Smoking cigs with the buds. I have
with the
that
boys,
ripping
heaters,
ripping
heaters with the boys. Yeah, man. Yeah, just being guys. Fucking
I'm
having
not
vices.
like recommending people get into smoking.
No, don't do that. But like if you're you shouldn't get into it, but you should rip some heaters with the boys.
Like you've been drinking all night.
Yes.
And you're just like chilling.
The two guys who never smoke or are having their like annual cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like
it's actually like when you do that, when it's the two guys and like out of four and all four are smoking and like two guys never smoke, it's a bonding experience.
Yeah. And you get to laugh at your friends who just like don't know how to move their like hands with like a burning tobacco stick in them, which is just funny because they end up smoking like Nazis in World War II. Who's like, all weird and shit. Yeah. Get over yourself, Jacob.
Number 16, getting to tell off a customer.
Yes.
This is in lieu with, like, you put your 2 weeks in, or you know you're about to get fired, or you know that you can't get fired, you're unfireable. Yeah. You can basically say whatever you want to these people, and it's amazing.
So when I worked in a liquor store, we worked in like a bougie part of town. We were in like a little shopping complex, and the guy next to us was a like fairly like had some big clients, like financial planner. But we worked in this like tight, like this place had like no parking. We had like 3 parking spots for like a liquor store. And so like my boss told me to ask people who parked like right in front of the liquor store to like, hey, are you seeing them? Can you move over there? And this guy, I call him a customer because he would come in like during the day and buy those little like 4 packs of plastic wine. Like I told the guy to move and he came back and said, hey, don't tell this person to do this. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. This dude is not my boss. This dude is just some guy yelling at me. I went fucking off on him. And gave him so many death stares until the like one time he finally came in and was like, hey, like head down. I'm sorry. Shook his hand. It was out. He was like, yeah, that's right. I was the alpha. It was great.
I had it one time when I was working at a bowling alley, and every Wednesday we would have this big special needs group come in that took up most of our lanes. So we had this guy and his 2 kids on these lanes be like, okay, well, we're going to have these lanes next to you are going to be taken, just so you know. So you're going to have to sit over here. And then when the special needs people came in, he was so upset that special needs people were bowling next to him because he just couldn't stand people with special needs.
They thought he was going to catch it or some shit.
Something like that. And he's like, can I get a refund and leave? He's like, no, you can just leave. Get out.
Listen, but if like a team, like that's fucked up what he did. But if a team of like alopecia bowlers rolled in, I'd be like, get these bald fucks out of here. No, shouldn't you all be auditioning for extras in G.I. Jane?
The fact that like he thought his kids were gonna like catch it or something, I don't understand. But he was like, "Can I get a refund and leave?" Because you're putting these people next to him. I'm like,
he already bowled like 10 games. Like you just fucking fuck out,
dude.
You just get
out.
Give this the money and get the
awesome.
fuck out.
You're gonna fucking come at Tony, one of my favorite dudes. I'm gonna come swinging at you next time.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that guy. That's awesome.
Number 17, peeing after a long road trip. Like if you hold it in,
dude. Sometimes, and when you've held it in for so long and you have to pee so desperately and it takes just like a little bit to get the stream going.
Yep.
That's intense. That is really an intense feeling. I'm sure that there are probably like mechanical things out there to mimic that feeling because that is intense.
One time I held it from driving from I don't know why I did this because I was riding in a car. I held it from riding from Los Angeles to Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a 4.5, 5 hour ride.
Yeah.
Don't recommend.
Yeah, man.
I was like wanting to vomit.
Yeah, dude. When you're feeling like phantom warm wet feelings in your lap because of it, like you're like, I'm pissed. I know it. And you look down and you're still holding it. Yeah.
Good time to walk in on this one, Jenna. Good time.
Yeah,
good timing on that.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling though. Like when you actually get it out and it does take you like 3 minutes for that stream to kind of like calm down.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's because just like your bladder, your prostate, everything is working in harmony at that point to just get all of the urine out of you as fast as possible. It's just
like now we can actually function.
Yeah.
In relation to both of us, because we both got just fresh cuts, that moment right after you get a haircut.
So you don't go like as tight as I do.
Not in the back usually. I think next time I'm going to take the beard shorter.
Yeah. Because the fuzzy, that's awesome. That is, I love that.
When I first get it, this will be fuzzy.
Yeah, and do you just spend the time just rubbing the fuzzy?
You're just like, oh, this feels nice. Like when I got my head freshly shaved, I was like, ooh. Yeah,
you're wondering like how drunk you got and bumped your head that time to get that fucking dent and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Actually, though, I had just like the first ever like haircut self-esteem killer in my family. I walked in and my youngest June, who's gonna be 3 like in a couple weeks. She's like, Dad, what happened to your big hair? I was like, I got a haircut. Cut it. It's the same hair, it's just shorter. I was like, do you like it? She's like, no. And we laughed because we thought it was funny. And so that meant she spent the rest of the evening just telling me like how much my hair sucked. That wasn't great, but the feeling is good.
I got called out today because people were noticing I got like a decent amount of gray hair right here on the right side of my head.
when I get a cut, you can start to see it starting to. I look like a NASA engineer in the '60s.
Yep.
Yeah. Hold on. That moment right after you get a bad haircut, like they fucked up your head.
Like you kind of notice too. Oh,
Yeah.
you're just like, I just wasted. I basically just burned $30.
Or you start doing like follicle math and you're trying to figure out how long it will take to grow out to look fucking normal.
Yeah. Or like, and then you try experimenting different ways to comb it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They
It doesn't
fucked
matter.
up your head.
Yeah, I had one once where no matter what I did, there was a cowlick in the back, so I had hair that just always stood up. I was
Yeah.
like, this is just torture.
When I was in like,
I'm gonna be a hat guy.
when I was in like 9th grade, a lady at a Fantastic Sam's just straight up fucking Forrest Gumped me. It was bad.
I guess then you just be a hat guy for a month.
Couldn't be at school though, you know?
You couldn't wear hats at school?
Nope.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Number 19 is maybe my most personal moment right here. The moment at a roulette table when the ball's spinning and you have all your money out on the table. Not when the ball lands, but as the ball's spinning. That is maybe my favorite moment of all time.
Yeah, and we've been. I think the reason that it's our favorite.
No,
I mean, we like
no.
it because of the rush, but we also really like it because it actually worked out that one time.
It did, but also you weren't there when I was at the boats. When I was in Council Bluffs last time, I lost about $2,000.
Yeah, it's because I wasn't there, just whispering numbers in your ear.
It's true. It's true. But that feeling, and I talked about it with the dealer, with the roulette like spinner. He's like, yeah, that's the best feeling in the world because he's also a hardcore gambling DJ. It's my favorite feeling in the entire world. When that ball is spinning, it's just the I think it's the possibilities.
Yeah. It's just listen, my brain doesn't make dopamine until you write me out the ticket or until the ball is spinning or the cards are turning.
Good. It's so good. I want that feeling forever. Number 20 is buying your first house.
Fucking terrifying. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Always.
I haven't done it, but finding a place to rent also sucks and terrifying. I'm gonna give that a D because like once you actually have it, it's pretty cool.
Legit, yeah, for sure. It's especially when you bought it and insures, but like I don't know, like moving sucks.
Yeah,
like
moving sucks.
And then when you're making like super like legal binding agreements and stuff, and there are like banks involved, like there's just so many just hassles and crazy things that you just never think of.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, boom. Former homeowner. Jenna's a former homeowner.
She got rid of those shackles of mortgage. She reversed it. Solik style.
Boom. Number 21, moving to a new city. I'm going to give it C+ because it's just the unknown. It's nerve-wracking, but it's also like endless possibilities.
It's B+. I mean, I'm gonna give it B+. It's an exciting time. It's like whenever Carrie in Sex and the City moved to Paris, you know, for a little bit to be with like the ballet dancer, you know.
When I moved to Los Angeles, it was very fun.
That has to be intimidating. Like I've never done more.
It was also very like specifically. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, Jenna.
Sorry, Jenna. Yeah, man. Like it's there's so much optimism, you know, and then you're so excited because you're like, you get to forge new paths of like, all right, this is how I drive to this place. This is how I drive to this place.
It was
things like that.
But also combined, like I moved from a town of 3,000 people to Los Angeles.
Yeah, yours is extreme. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was wild. It was a wild time.
Did you have just like some straight up like Steve Martin jerk type moments?
I had some. For the first like 6 months I lived there, I didn't venture outside the little area I was in. Like I barely drove.
Right.
And then eventually I started exploring more of the city and I was like, oh, this city's actually awesome.
Yeah. I couldn't handle Los Angeles, dude. I can't do big sprawling cities where multiple cities combine into one city and traffic is horrible and it takes like an hour to get across town. I hate it.
By the time I left, I love it. I love Los Angeles. I'm just going to be an unabashed LA lover.
I'd rather do like Chicago or something where I don't necessarily have to have a car, or like New York.
That is the one thing I do hate about LA is that you have to have a car to get around.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't like that.
Because you got to get from Burbank to Santa Monica to Watts to like, and
I lived in Burbank. I lived in Burbank. And like to actually access the city, you got to get a car, buddy.
Yeah. And it's what I hate about Dallas. It's what I hate about like Tulsa. It's like, how many cities are in the city, dude? How many cities are in this city?
There's a lot. Number 22, going to college.
Overrated.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it. I mean, I went and then I went for 1 year.
Yeah. I'm not one, like, I'll tell you this. I got a lot of quit in me. And when you make me, like, do things like sit in lines and go through, like, bureaucratic shit to get, like, all your paperwork together, like, I am very prone to very early in the process to be like, all right, fuck this. I don't want to do this anyway. And so, like, you go to college and then you spend the entire time, like, the first couple of weeks, like, doing, like, bureaucratic shit and going to, like, assemblies and, like, you know, like, learn. There's, and then you're having to, like, go see, like, advisors and sit in line and do all that shit, and it just sucks.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna give it like a D because it's so overhyped.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell kids in high school. I'm gonna tell you, if you're listening to this show right now, I'm gonna tell you this is like, you've seen every movie about kids going to college, and it's like so fucking awesome. It's like, well, you know what? For some kids, it fucking is. But you know what? You're probably going to go to a fucking directional school in your state. And I'm going to tell you what, they don't get down like those movies at your fucking directional, you know, school that has a good HVAC program.
Except for directional Mish schools.
Yeah, the Kappas don't have a fucking epic luau. All right? The Pikes,
also, yeah, I never did frat stuff, so.
Yeah, the Kappas don't have amazing luau's. The Pikes just kind of like diddle people at like a airport with a lot of beer.
Number 23, puke and rally. Great feeling.
It's a great feeling. I'm
gonna give it a C+ based on the fact that you have to puke to feel it, and I hate puking.
It's a very specific puke. It's when you like chug a ton of beer, and it's the foamy. Like when we played Ultimate, drinking a disc of beer is like a big thing, like rite of passage in the Ultimate culture. And do you know how many beers can fit into like a standard Ultimate Frisbee? 175 gram Discraft Ultra Star Frisbee. A pitcher. Okay. You can fit a pitcher in there. Like you get like the surface tension, like bubble and everything. And so the way you had to drink it was like you were on your knees, it was on something elevated, and you could only put your mouth on it. You can only take it away for like 10 seconds.
It's like bobbing for apples.
Yeah. I could like throw back a pitcher real quick. You have to do that. You're taking in all that air. So that vomit, that's all that like essentially burp and like foam. And then you can just fucking go. Yeah. I'm with you. C+.
Mine are all like
I talked about a lot.
Like I'll take a lot of shots, and then you'll hit that one shot that just hits you, like hits your stomach weird, and you're just like, bleh. Then you're just like, oh, I feel great now. I went from feeling like shit to feeling awesome.
I don't get that kind of drunk anymore, and I'll tell you what, I do not rally after that. What I do is I've been so conditioned to being like drawn on and fucked with by my friends that like I find somewhere like tiny and I hide in it like a fucking house cat.
Oh, I'll rally.
I take my pants off. I don't rally.
Number 24 was your suggestion. Passing a drunk test when you're drunk.
Hold on. All right, hold on. First,
you said field sobriety test.
Yes. I do not condone drinking and driving. I got pulled over by cops on mountain bikes once. Like right as I was leaving a parking lot, and they administered a field sobriety test. I probably should not have been driving, but I passed that fucking field sobriety test.
I was going to say, disclaimer, we do not condone drinking and driving.
At all.
Combined with this, the feeling of successfully running away from the cops.
Yeah. Going through a physical challenge where the prize is not going to jail and winning.
Great.
Amazing. I suggest everyone do it.
We were at a house party. I was 18 years old. We were at a house party with and that gets busted, obviously, as they do, because there was about 40 people in a house that maybe fit 15.
Yeah.
So it gets busted, and we're walking out, the dumbasses we are, with backpacks on. Because like I don't want to lose my backpack. I like having my backpack.
Yeah.
Who are the cops stopping?
It's got all your beer in there too.
It's got all the beer in there too. Who are the cops stopping coming out of the house? Everybody with backpacks.
Yeah.
Those are the only people they're stopping.
Snatch you up like teenage drunk box turtles.
So they grab me. It's me and my buddy. They grab me, check my ID. They just grab me. They don't even check my ID. They grab me and be like, "What are you guys doing?" My buddy starts to run for it. They go for him. He's got like his hand on my wrist now. I bolt for it. They both go after me for a little bit. My buddy gets away. So we both ended up getting away.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
All right, I've got this one's it's a long con. It's a long play. It's along the same lines. I was with a very good friend of mine when we went to. Well, I was just kind of hanging out at the college playing ultimate frisbee there. He still kind of went though. I was hanging out in his dorm room, and for some reason we decided it was okay to partake in the devil's broccoli while we were there, and we like stunk up this entire dorm, and so of course the cops came, and so he got arrested. I managed to not get arrested because I didn't say shit to those people. And so he's like booked for possession. He has to go to court. Like he shows up for his court date. The cop's nowhere to be found. He pleads not guilty. It's all gone.
Nice.
Because the cop had loaned his gun and his bulletproof vest to his brother for a meth deal. They got busted up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in a way, I feel like maybe
Vindicated.
like me and my friend, who I won't say his name, we set the wheels of justice in motion.
I think so. I think you guys actually did something justice-wise there. Number 25 is one we kind of touched earlier. It's when your long shot future bet wins. It's like such a good feeling.
I hope to feel that feeling. I've been so close in football and basketball.
Dude, LSU in 2019, getting them at 50-1 was such a nice feeling.
That's fucking hot shit right there,
It was
Jim.
amazing. It was so amazing.
Yeah.
27, when you're in the process of bowling a perfect game, like you're on frame 7 and you have another strike, that feeling of just tension and potential, it's so fun. I give that like a B+. Because you feel like you're so nervous though too.
I get such like a level of anxiety that it puts me in like a tunnel vision. I actually feel like I go like partially like blind, like in the peripheral.
Yep.
When I'm like on, you know?
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yep.
In similar vein, a hole in one, whether it's pitch and putt or like actually on the golf course, hole in ones are just fun.
Yeah, I've definitely never had one. I'm gonna say that's gotta feel pretty baller because hitting the golf ball's hard.
I've never gotten one, but I've been with people who have gotten one. The immediate feeling is awesome. The issue is at most courses and at my home course is the person who gets a hole in one has to buy everybody on the golf course a drink. Everybody on the golf course a drink, which could be like 60 people.
That's like whenever I shot like skeet. Your first like perfect round where you busted all 25 targets. All the guys you shot with got to take your hat off, throw it in the air, shoot it. Like fuck that, man. Like I had drip. The hat looks good. So I always missed one when we were practicing.
Smart move.
Yep.
Number 29, the minutes leading up to a blackout, like when you can kind of feel yourself blacking out.
Oh.
And you're just like, oh, if I take like 3 more drinks, this night's not getting remembered.
Yeah, I have 2 words that always take me to that town. They are Hennessy and Cavassier. I went on a cognac kick until I realized that like it turns me into the fucking werewolf. Like it just completely blacks me out. Like I had a birthday where I should have been wearing like a helmet cam because of that brown liquor, and like I apparently almost got me and my friends into a fight with every homeless man in Little Rock and the Taco Bell line. I tried to kick a fence, I missed it and like flipped and landed on my head. And when I woke up the next morning, it looked like a taco tornado had rolled through, and I had cheese and lettuce in my belly button.
My 2 words are Captain and Morgan.
Cool.
Get me involved with. I could drink other rum, but Captain Morgan just puts me to bed.
Cappy Mo.
Just night juice.
Yeah.
And number 30 is successfully lying to someone, whether like it's an authority figure or someone you just don't like. Lying to people is kind of fun.
And they just totally buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of dope.
It's good. I mean, it's a good way to practice that straight face of like when they act, especially if it's like real ridiculous and like there's no way they're gonna believe this, and then they believe it, and you're like, oh,
nice.
Okay.
That'll do it. That's everything we have to grade. We're going long. I like these kind of longer episodes. Chase, is there anything you want to shout out? Anything you got going on before we dip out?
I want to shout out the people of the garage for Garageburg we stand. And then hey, Wednesdays I've got my show with America's Best Racing, Megan Divine and the dog.
Great show, by the way.
Checking for that for a little bit of horse racing. I got a little podcast I'm dabbling in with our friend of the garage, Eric, called the Cocktail Hour. That we've been doing on Tuesdays. Got a couple of exciting things coming down the line that I'll be able to talk about a little bit later, but pumped about them.
and wait until mid-May, folks. Y'all know what's going on with me. Got the Jimnasium every Sunday. I got plenty of stuff going on. The Garage News update coming out Tuesday, and then Investigator Jim's been doing a deep dive on Major League Football and fan-controlled football, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
So
Rampage
necessary.
Tour always goes strong, and I'll be cooking. This week I'm actually making drinks. I'm making
Ooh.
drinks for my cooking episode.
Are you like going and getting like legit like mixers and all the different?
I
alcohols?
have like the whole cocktail like making set and everything.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I have a list that Maddie helped me make last episode, and I'm making as many drinks as I can in an hour. And what I'm doing is I'm making a drink. I'm gonna have a drink, make a drink, have a drink, as many as I can in an hour.
No way. This ends poorly. I will be tuning in.
I will take audience suggestions. They will bump whatever's on the list. So
I want
everybody.
I want you to. I'm gonna find some like old school like speakeasy like gin recipes where you have to use like egg whites and shit.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try and separate an egg white.
By the way, tell me you lived in the Depression without telling me you lived in the Depression where you're putting fucking egg whites in your liquor.
Dude, egg whites in booze are kind of bomb. Not gonna lie, it's bougie. It's bougie.
It's bougie.
That'll do it for this episode of the Jimnasium, folks. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can find us. We're everywhere. Love you guys.
Yeah. Love you guys. Love you guys who are commenting. Jenna,
yeah,
we love you.
Jenna's a fucking goat.
She's a soldier.
Goat. Love you guys. Peace out. Stay garage certified, everybody.